Hello, this is Doris Sander, and today I actually have the real deal flip through of a few pages in my bullet journal. I just officially started it 2 days ago, so this is kind of the process of starting a bullet journal, and I'm doing it in conjunction with the One Book July 2016, which is a group of planners who get together and work on their planning in July together as a group community activity, and it's lots of fun. So I'll link my first two videos to this one. The first one was just a slight introduction to the topic and a flip through of my current planning system, my personal planning system that I'm sticking with, which is in a Midori Traveler's Notebook. And then my second video in the series was just kind of going through the process of how I brainstorm and organize my thoughts to get ready for a new project. So then this one will be what I did, and I worked on it yesterday and it was so much fun. I had so much fun. So yay, let's just show you. This is a Leuchtturm 1917 A5 hardcover, black. Yep. And I put some of my Ninja kitties from my New York trip on here because I knew I would never be careful and I would be flashing my address all over the internet. So those will stay there permanently because I'm just not careful. This is the index page. I haven't made any entries yet, but I did add a black line. I'll explain that later if I do add entries. Then my first page is a quote, just an introduction page. My one little word this year is adventure, so I wasn't really in the mood to have any deep thoughts about it. I just wanted to make something pretty yesterday. So I grabbed the first quote that I came across, which happened to be, I'm doing the Harry Potter challenge on Instagram. Probably if it's a handwriting challenge. I don't remember the exact hashtag right now, but I'll try to include the link. But I read through those quick, and sure enough, there was one about adventure. It says, "Let us step into the night and pursue that flighty temptress, adventure." And of course, it's Albus Dumbledore, who is just the wisest man in the fictional realm, aside from Atticus Finch. Anyway, I like how this turned out. I mentioned in my previous video that I want to add color to my bullet journal. So these are distress stains, and I've decided to stick with one color palette for July, and then when I get to August I'll choose new colors, just because I think it would be kind of jarring to go from color choice to color choice with each flip of the page, if that makes sense. So I thought it would be nice and cohesive to have July all be one color palette and then change for the next month. So maybe you can see here I've chosen blues, yellows, and pinks for my color because that's pretty much my go-to color palette, my favorite. So the Tim Holtz colors are Fossilized Amber and Mustard Seed. And I didn't use all of these on this one page, but quite a few of them. But you'll see them all scattered throughout. Well, I'll tell you this in a minute. The blues are Broken China and Tumbled Glass, which are both more aqua, and Stormy Sky, which is more navy. And then Picked Raspberry, Worn Lipstick, and Spun Sugar. And the Spun Sugar is super pale. I didn't use it much, but I think I did once or twice. So those are my distress stains. I believe that this marker is, or pen, excuse me, is the Pilot. You see that? The Pilot Precise V5 RT. It's a clicker. I love this pen. I love it. It's not waterproof, so I've been careful to do my wet stuff before I use it. So that's one thing to think about. And it did, when I tested it in the back here, it did smear ever so slightly initially, so, but it seemed to dry pretty quickly. So I haven't had any trouble using it in my pages, so I was happy because it's my favorite. And then this one, I had a weird writing incident here. Like my brain couldn't keep up with what I was doing and I made a weird something. So I had to cover it up with some rub-on stars that I had. They're really old, from JBS Mercantile. You can't, Jenny Bolin, you can't find them anymore probably, but that's what those are. But I did use, where is it? I used the Faber-Castell brush tip to rewrite it so that it would look better. And I wanted that to stand out more anyway. So that's what I did there. Okay, and then this is my first year at a glance calendar spread. And it's not perfect at all, but I'm pretty darn pleased with myself. This was, I posted on Instagram. I'm Doris Sander there if you're on Instagram. I'm Doris Sander everywhere. It's just so, you know, boring. But anyway, I'm not creative with my username. But I posted on Instagram that this was like the most relaxing and most stressful thing. It's so funny that it's both at once. But yeah, this was kind of stressful to get it all and not make mistakes. And yeah, and I made mistakes, trust me. I made several. I can't remember them all now. Like, one thing that is a little off is this looks a little bit orange, and it's because I used this yellow, which has an orange tint to it, I guess. So I decided not to use that again. I made my boxes, and I think I made them the wrong size, but it worked out. I refigured and it worked out. And then, so I started from the bottom and worked my way up because that seemed to make sense to me somehow. So I got those done without incident, other than the sizing was wrong, but it turned out to be right. And then I started on the dates, and I managed this whole side without incident. And then when I got to this side, oh my goodness, I wrote April 2016's dates instead of 2017, which was what it needed to be. So I had to cover it up, and I ended up trimming a little piece from this back page. Oops. And it's not too bad. You can see it, but overall, if you knew, like, yeah, it's okay. It is okay. So from there I finished that, and then I was very leery of the title because I'm not patient about making fancy fonts. I just do my writing and that's what I do. But I tried. So I didn't really like the way the numbers turned out. But then I added that and I liked those. So then I tried adding some color to the numbers, and that was better. And then I actually outlined them with my little skinny pen, the color part. So I'm pretty okay with it. I mean, overall, I'm very happy. This was my first time. I chose, like, I did this before even this. So this was my first page, which was just practice and in the back of the book, so not scary at all. And then why I chose this super big thing for my first project, I don't know. But I did, and it's okay. Yay! So it was kind of a relief. And since I've made it, I'm wondering why I didn't put, like, I'm going to show you this again later. My son has my Staedtler colored markers, and I need to color code my dates for my school calendar and any other things I need to record. But I made these boxes for forward planning so that I could circle the date in the month and then write what it was down here. But now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if I would like it better if, like, under July I had the July box and then the October calendar in a box. So I'll probably try that on my the next time I make one. but it's pretty okay for a first attempt. Yay. So this next page, don't let it scare you. I'm going to flip by quickly so you don't have to like dwell on it right now, but I'll come back to it at the end if you really want to know what happened. But if you don't want to know and you never want to see it again, you can just stop. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So this is my Rock Your Handwriting Challenge. This was supposed to be the 5th page according to my little notes. But since the previous page was a little dark and shadowing a lot, I didn't want to I'm redoing my calendar is what I'm saying, because that one wasn't right. So I decided to just do the Rock Your Handwriting here because it was simple, and then do the calendar next. So for the Rock Your Handwriting, if you don't know, it's another Instagram challenge, and it's just basically a daily prompt to practice your handwriting. And I really love it, mainly because I'm a journaler and a memory keeper, and I think the prompts are good prompts just for writing. So even if you don't want to improve your handwriting, they're just great journaling prompts, in my opinion. Most of them are. So I just decided for this, I'm going to make the 4-square grid like this and do a prompt in each one. And there are 31 prompts this month because there are 31 days in July, but I won't do them all. There are a few that don't speak to me. But I have 8 boxes here, so you know, when I get these done, I'll just turn to the next page and make 8 more, if that makes sense. So this was fun. The only thing I like my handwriting, it's fine. I just need to, I made a note to myself that I need to work on spacing. I'm really bad at not leaving any white space, any breathing room around the headers and things. So I need to work on my spacing. So that's what I need to work on with Rock Your Handwriting. And then now you're going to hear the Hallelujah chorus. Yes. I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy. So this is what it was supposed to look like, and I'm just so relieved. I redid the color on the background. I just took 3 of the paler colors, and basically what you do, Amy Tan does this all the time, and it's certainly not new to her. I've been doing it for a decade or more. But if you want to see it done like live, I'll try to link Amy's video so you can see it. She does it so gracefully. But you basically, she does it with water paint too. But you basically just make sure your dabber is wet and you do some violent splats, and then you blow on it. And you kind of blow in the different directions. But I just blow on it, so whatever comes out, you know, gets mixed in with the ink. She uses a straw and does it more delicately. So anyway, I did that. It kind of reminded me of fireworks. And then I got my little boxes drawn. They're so cute. They're just so cute. This is my month at a glance calendar, and I decided to do the individual boxes rather than like the full rectangle with grids drawn, because the main reason is because I cannot stand for things to be in the gutter, so I didn't want any of my boxes to go across the gutter, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm sure I could condense it if I wanted to. I might at some point and still avoid the gutter, but gutter avoidance was my #1 issue. And I did want them to be bigger. I realized after the epic fail 2 pages back, I realized they needed to be as big as I could get them. So I spaced it. You see here, this one, the box goes to the gutter, and I actually didn't draw the line in there. I just thought it would like not go well, and really when it's just laying here, you can't tell at all. So there's that. And this is my week that I go back to work, so that's why it's so busy, and the rest is not, because I'm a school teacher on summer break. And then this section is for forward planning. So I've already gone in and written a couple of dates that need to go on my August calendar. So this won't be like all of my life, it's mostly work related, but yeah. So forward planning here for the next month, and then I put a note section here in case I need it, because I had, you know, space for it, and it seemed logical. And I did want to mention, most of this is with these either Micron or Faber-Castell pens. I don't notice a real difference between the two, but I'm not a pen connoisseur. Others may indeed, but I like both, and they're both permanent, if that makes a difference. So you can write with them, they dry quickly, and you can then put wet product over them and it's fine. And I did want to mention this title is with this pen. I love this thing. The Galaxy Marker in Bold by American Crafts. I hope they still produce it. I've had this a long time. But I love this. It's got this super fat nib on it. And like I said, I don't like to take the time to learn how to make fancy handwriting, so I just like to use my own. And I find that, I mean, I know you can write with the brush tip and get cool effects, but I don't write naturally with this, if that makes sense, so things don't always come out as pretty as I would like. But I do write naturally with this one, and you can see it's pretty thick. So, and surprisingly, it didn't do much shadowing. And I did watch that it had time to dry. I was careful with that. But yeah, I like this pen. So yay, I love this page, this spread. So from there, I am doing the Passion Themed Life Doodles. This is another Instagram challenge. And I've decided to do it organically, just put the doodles wherever on the page that I think they fit nicely. Instead, a lot of people do the little calendar grid and put the doodle in each square, and I'll probably do that at some point, but this one I just felt like with it's an undersea theme, and I thought it would be nice like this. And I went ahead and I made the swirls with my distress stains, like the ocean waves. And I really like that because now I don't feel compelled to color in the doodles, because I've noticed with my Hobonichi, sometimes I'm not in the mood to color. So doodling is faster, and then I just am not coloring. I am, however, doing a little bit of coloring, but very limited. So I'm using these two Sakura, it's Koi brush pens. And I have a whole set of these. Gray is very handy for doodling, for coloring. They have brush tips, so they work nicely. And I have, I think it's a 10-pack, different shades of gray. And then these two are just generic cheapo gel pens. And these do smear pretty bad if you're not careful. Yeah. So you need to be serious about letting them dry a minute or two. I don't know how long specifically, but do that. And then this is, I decided after all that I would like to try putting my scrapbook work in here. I think that will work out for me. So this is the layout I came up with initially, and it's just the date down here and the things I did that day. And I was going to write people here, but then I realized I needed to, this is a work in progress. Like, some things I write down that I did them, and some things I wrote that I need to do them. So I needed, retroactively, I realized I needed to be able to check off whether it was done or not. So, but this is a good starting. I think that's the great thing with the bullet journal, is that you can like make it specific to your own needs and keep working on it from month to month to really fine tune it. So this is a good start, and I will definitely fine tune it. So this is for the work, and then this is kind of a brain dump notes kind of page that I thought was important and necessary, and so far it is very important. And then I don't know, like, I'll know more as the months progress, like if one page will be enough, or if I'll, you know, need more room down here, or if I want to save pages together or just put it on another page. I don't know. We'll get there. So that's what I have so far, and I think I've gone over everything. I know this mostly looks like fluff and little planning, and the reason for that is that I'm on break from work, and I really wanted this time to kind of play with it and get comfortable with my own writing in the book and how the pens respond to the book and everything else, and, you know, getting used to the process of drawing all the little grids and lines and things. And it's just a nice time to practice and get comfortable with it before I go back to work. And so it's been a really good idea. I really am enjoying it, and I think I'll be ready when school starts to just dive in. So I will be making another video. We're up here. So I don't know if I'll have another video for probably sometime this week. I'll make the next video because I need to work on my weekly spreads and my work spreads. So I'll have a couple more videos in here, at least one, maybe two, probably three. I mean, probably, you know, because in here then I'll start making my August pages. So yeah, there's more, but it'll be a couple weeks before I do anything else because there's not really anything else to do until I actually go back to work. So yay. So if that's all you want to see, feel free to turn this off right now. But I did promise, so I'm going to take a minute to show you the page. I'm not even going to say anything about it other than the page. So this is what happened. This is what happened. Oh my goodness. So the background I liked. The background turned out lovely. And then for some reason, I decided I wanted to try one of these gray markers for the boxes. And I did. And it wasn't that bad, honestly. But it's kind of small, you see. So I made a mental note of that. And then I got up here and I miscounted the line. Like I forgot to take into account of the spacing between. So I ended up with this double box line here. So they weren't the right size, or I had to make a double line. So then, of course, if I had a double line here, I had to make a double line everywhere, which was, you know, more wrong. And then I thought that, well, then I made this box and it went too high for some reason, so that was annoying too. And then I thought that a number wouldn't look good in this box, so I should write out the word. Like, that even makes sense and visually works. But anyway, so I did that, and then I didn't pay attention to the spacing here, so I forgot to not make boxes here and here. So like imagine if these were all boxes and these were all boxes, it was way too much visually. So I couldn't like look at it that way. It was not working for me. So I put washi over it thinking that would help. And yeah, and I forgot that I wanted a Sunday start because I like my calendars to be Sunday start, even though I like my weeks to be Monday start. It's weird, but I know a lot of people are like that too. So I forgot that. So it was a Monday start, which I didn't want, but I would deal with. And then I put the days of the week up here, and I don't know, and then the month, and then I just looked at it and said, no, just no. Just no. So I thought about like cutting this page out and gluing this page to it so I'd have a fresh start and, you know, nobody had to see it. But I don't know. I kind of like the memory of, you know, doing it and having it. So I journaled here. This is a rock your handwriting prompt, and it's something, I forget what it was, but it made sense. So I journaled about what happened here. So yeah, but you know, I just read somewhere today, if you don't make mistakes just show that you're trying. So yeah, I'm just trying, and see, it got better, so much better. So you should give it a try too. Anyway, that's it for now, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.